This week, we've had good reason to celebrate our organization and our monastic lineage. A few days ago, on the 17th of January, was the golden jubilee of our Guru Bhai, Sri Swami Yogananda Sarasvati of France, marking 50 years of total dedication to his Holy Master, Sri Swami Satchidananda, and to the path of renunciation. We offer you now a glimpse of Swami Yogananda's dedicated life. Please enjoy.
Neither by action, nor by progeny, nor by wealth, but by renunciation is immortality attained. Renunciates attain that which is beyond heaven, which is hidden in the heart cave, and which is self-luminous. It was 1,000 years ago or more that the great Adi Shankaracharya extolled the Vedic wisdom of our eternal oneness and revitalized the ancient ideal of renunciation, or sannyas. Still vital hundreds of years later, we see this ideal embodied in our Param Gurudev, His Holiness Sri Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj, and in our Gurudev, His Holiness Sri Swami Satchidanandaji Maharaj. It was in 1966 that Sri Gurudev first visited Paris at the invitation of Conrad Rooks. A young yogi heard about him at that time and met him in person a year later on return visit, and from then on, whenever Gurudev would come to France. Not long after, this ardent disciple wrote his guru about a growing aspiration he felt toward the life of renunciation. This deep aspiration soon gained fulfillment at Satchidananda Tapavanam in Kandy, Sri Lanka, on the banks of the sacred Mahaveli Ganga River. There on January 17, 1971, Sri Gurudev would for the first time initiate a Western disciple into the holy order of Paramhamsa Sannyasa, giving him the ochre cloth and a new name, Swami Yogananda Sarasvati. In 1973, Swami Yoganandaji began 2 years of intensive Sanskrit studies, greatly deepening his understanding of the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the many works of Adi Shankaracharya through studying them in their original Sanskrit language. This study left Yoganandaji well-equipped as his teaching expanded throughout France, in Paris, Lyon, Boulogne, Burgundy, at Ramakrishna centers, at conferences for the French Yoga Federation. For all these many years, Swamiji has been guiding students through the classical texts of the ancient scriptures, writing commentaries on them in French and English, and composing hymns in Sanskrit verse. And yes, he does actually think in Sanskrit at times. One of his compositions, Sri Satchidananda Ashtakam, was written for and dedicated to our revered Gurudev for his birth centenary in 2014. It is written in the intricate classical verse form used in the Ramayana and the Bhagavad Gita. Listen carefully as Swamiji recites one of the verses.
Shuddham buddham vinirmuktam avikaryam shatasho bhaktya sadgurum pranamamyaham.
Hundreds and hundreds of times I bow with devotion to the Holy Master, who is ever pure, conscious and free, and who is immutable and formless. This life of dedication and its fruits are summed up here in a reminiscence by another of Gurudev's devotees, Ambika of Lotus, France, in Tours.
Hari Om, beloved sisters and brothers, on this auspicious day. Wanted to share with you a little story that for me tells everything about Swamiji, always God-related. Once when he was visiting me, we were driving into town and he asked, "Do you easily find a parking place?" "No problem, I just ask." There was sort of a long silence, and I heard him say very softly, as if he were speaking to himself, "Nevertheless, there are still more interesting things to ask for than parking places. He's permanently on that wavelength with quietness, softness, love, kindness, and God accuracy. A true friend. Blessing to all of you on this auspicious happening. Ambika.
May the Lord and Sri Gurudev grant him many more years of health and service and eternal absorption in the Absolute. Jai Sri Satguru Satchidananda Ji Maharaj Ki. Jai Yogananda Ji Maharaj Ki. Jai.